No donuts or pizza, man, but I do have some questions for you if you don't mind that.
Oh, really? Well, let me get one of my other personalities to do that.
All right. Okay,
Nothing
cool,
but a
man. Yeah,
straight
so
shooter here.
we are officially rolling. So how's it going today?
It's going all right. Weather's nice. The cops woke me up, and I still have some stuff, left of my worldly possessions.
They
Not all
woke
of
you
it,
up?
but enough of it.
How'd they wake you up?
They just told us that we had to go. I knew they were coming because I've gotten used to them being my alarm clock every single day.
No, that's no fun.
It's lame, but shit, somebody jumps down their throat for those reasons to make them be this active, and there's plenty of other things in our city that they could be doing. They know it, we know it, but that's the way the cookie crumbles.
You're not lying, man.
Not mad about them. I'm not mad about it with them, but as far as how life is, something's not right. But
I heard that.
But the weather was nice, and I'm cool. Dog is fine.
Well, you tell these folks what's your name.
My name's Zero. Real
Zero?
name's Kenny.
Kenny. Okay. So that's what you prefer to be called? Is Zero?
Yeah, just because not everybody on these streets needs to know my real name. Rumors fly, and gossip freaking festers and snowballs into other crap, and it's just like, you know what? Let me just leave my real name out of all that.
I get it. Makes sense. All right. How long have you been in this area?
Probably about close to like 5 years, maybe.
5 years.
Maybe 3 on this stretch, because I went back to Vacaville for a little while.
Okay.
And but yeah, probably about 3 years straight for right now.
Okay.
Going on 3 years.
All right. Any specific places, any specific areas? Or you just kind of bouncing around, or?
Pretty much from here to the Texas Roadhouse is pretty much. There's a couple vacations I took to the west, but I just end up staying wherever I end up laying my head for the night. Trying to wander around and find somewhere to be where I'm not going to bother nobody. Then I send drones out to find me.
Right.
Sounds like some crazy tweaker bullshit, but I really wish it was. But brown nosing and spying seems to be a passion of some of the more well-off here in Fairfield.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for me, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
The only residents that I'd be disturbing would be a couple of rattlesnakes and mice. And there was places that I was at where I was cool for years.
Yeah.
And some space invaders kind of screwed that up. But that's neither here nor there.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. So what's something that you remember from your past, something that you used to love to do, a hobby or a passion that you had maybe growing up?
I love playing bass. I love heavy metal, but I love music. I just, having the bass line is the outline of the soul, the most music to me. And it's nice to be able to hold a funky beat. And I still can. I will. As soon as I get my hands on any kind of 4-string or more instrument.
Right on. Yeah. No, I mean, I grew up, I taught myself guitar when I was 12, so I get it, man.
It's a feeling unlike any other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sex gets kind of close, but it's nothing weird. Anyway.
Can you say that you've lost interest in playing music, or do you still keep up with that?
Oh, I have to keep up with it. It's the only thing that'll keep me from unraveling. I mean, in these streets, every single day you get scorned and spit on and freaking, all kinds of who knows what. Just a task as simple as waking up in the morning, trying to wash your hands and use the restroom in an actual restroom can turn into such a huge thing. I've gone into a restroom, done my business, and left, and had a whole SWAT team follow me down the block. For what? Yeah. For 6 minutes in the restroom. Big deal.
For using a bathroom.
Yeah, I washed my hands before and after I used it. Big deal. Is that a crime? I told that to the freaking commanding officer, and he said,
treat it like it is.
I'll see you later.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, I can't believe that was that challenging.
Right.
All
right. Yeah.
But,
okay. Can you tell me about a time in life where you felt truly happy or truly proud of yourself, a proud moment maybe that sticks out when you think back in retrospect?
Graduating, maybe getting my first job, but I was still in school then.
Yeah.
A lot of the times that I could really really say that I was super proud of myself and been out here on these streets, like, I don't know, saving someone from an overdose. That was kind of like, I looked at him and I was like, man, this guy's got too much. I smacked him and I told him, I was like, man, don't be another statistic. And he came back.
And saving a life is no joke, man.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And if I hadn't been out here, then that might not have happened.
I don't know the person, but I'm glad that you were here to help him, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
There's been a few close calls here and there where I was glad to be a hero. There's a couple that I was kind of irritated about it, but hey, somebody had to do it.
So 0 to hero.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So what would you say? What's been the hardest thing that you've had to face recently?
The hardest thing I've had to face recently is that it seems like I have no civil rights anymore. I went into a Starbucks with a $25 gift card, and some manager with a hair up their ass for no reason decided to ban me. I told her, I was like, here, my receipt's on the table. I don't have to, I'm not going to listen to whatever else it is you're saying, because it made no sense. And I wasn't doing anything to bother anybody else. She just wanted to come up and start problems with me. Yeah. So when I looked back up, there was 2 Fairfield police officers there. Oh. And the last time I had been in that Starbucks, a Fairfield police officer had bought me a whole bunch of sandwiches because she used to be my boss at my first job.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was really profound running into that person again.
Yeah.
And then the circumstances of the next time I had police contact in a Starbucks were the complete polar opposite.
Yeah.
And it didn't make any sense at all.
That's unfortunate, man.
And honestly, I don't blame them a lot of the time, because me being homeless, I have a passionate hatred for most homeless people that would dwarf any of those normal business owners, because they get a check while they have to deal with these assholes.
Yeah.
They do. They have to go to work and they have to deal with that stuff. It sucks. It's not in their job description, but they do it. They go home and they handle their business.
Right.
I don't get to do that. I have to wake up and they're still there at my spot, bothering me, doing all kinds of who knows what kind of crap.
Just constantly surrounded by it. Huh?
Right. And sometimes those same assholes are the only ones that can help me survive in the moment.
Yeah.
So it's a real catch-22. And
that's a good way to put it, man.
Yeah, the hardest part is that a lot of the stipulations that our local law enforcement have to go through and whatnot only perpetuate the problem. It's like, they see these code enforcement people who don't really have anything better to do. They're not following. Some of them are probably doing their job because I never see them. But a couple of them that I see regularly, I'm like, you know what? I know that you blocking up all of those outlets makes that building not up to code anymore. And, those of us who do have phones and can hold on to the technology that, we've come so reliant on in society, we need to keep them charged so that we could maybe get jobs, follow up on the job interviews, be able to get in contact with maybe some independent contractors who put us to work to mend your fences and stuff every now and then. And we can't do that if we don't have access to something, and trying to take away all of our resources isn't going to do anything except make it worse. You want people to stop shitting on your porch? Let them use the bathroom. And if they fuck it up, hold them hostage and make them clean it up.
Yeah.
There are simple solutions to these things. The generation that had corporal punishment didn't have these problems, because if you fucked up, you got hit.
It's pretty simple, man. If you can be responsible for you, things will be a lot better. But there's a lot of people out there that don't even want to be responsible for themselves.
Yeah, they can't do it. Me, I'm homeless. But in the 8 years that I've been homeless, I've always done my best to try and be a good neighbor. I try and keep my side of the sidewalk clean. If you tell me to go, I will go.
Right.
But if I'm somewhere where I know, some remote location where I know I'm not bothering anybody, and I'm trying to pick up my trash and, and make sure that I'm not a bother or an eyesore or something like that, leave me be. Yeah. I don't get it. I'm not going to be there forever. I try and get jobs and all that jazz. And I have. I've gotten jobs when I was living out of this bush right over here that they chopped down here at McDonald's. And I went to work. My second day of work, I went there and I came back and all of my stuff was gone. Not from the police. That was some other kind of, crazy shit. But
that's the kind of countless times where you have had your stuff messed with, huh?
The city itself has come for my stuff every single day of the week for 3 weeks at a time and been successful. Man. And I mean, that was not only my belongings and my changes of clothes. It was some of that stuff still had receipts in the bag that my dad had donated to me. He bought me a new tent, tarp. It was raining outside. I had all my supplies, and the city came, took it, and tries to charge me a ticket for $2,000 for it.
Like, just add an insult to injury, man.
For real.
That's crazy.
But I think that it's up to the people to create a real solution for this thing.
Agreed.
Homeless people don't need to mob together and all that kind of jazz, because that just perpetuates the stigma that we're not the same as anybody else.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, I pay my taxes one leg at a time like everyone else would.
Yeah.
I'm not always successful, but I'll leave that to the IRS.
Yeah. Well, I like how that was well put. I like how you put that. Okay. So thinking back about your past as maybe a child, teenager, like did you have a dream or a goal that you remember being excited about?
Yeah, I wanted to be a firefighter or an X-ray technician. I wanted
Really?
to join the military, become an X-ray technician for the military. I had this all planned out, right? Just all these different grades and modes of trying to get to where I wanted to be financially and professionally. I wanted to join the military, do a minimum campaign, get schooling for free, hope that the experience that I, was able to utilize in the military would get me to the position to be a firefighter or an EMT of sorts, and just go from there. Hopefully, like, my hobby of music would, fruit and blossom into something else. I don't know, but that was about as far as I got. And, I don't know, you want to hear how far I got after school or what?
Well, what made you stop pursuing that dream? If looking back, what made you stray away?
What made me stray away was honestly the amount of school and interning that it turns out you have to have for those kinds of professions. And I just, I had always been told that I was never going to be able to get a job and all that kind of crap, because I like having my hair long and, a goatee or whatever. That's all, my family's personal problem.
Yeah.
But despite that, I still got a job at 16, worked every birthday that I had from 16 to like 22 or 23 years old. I worked through my birthday every freaking year up till there. And then I graduated and I went to go try and live out on my own. I had 2 jobs, a place to potentially rent from, and a car that I got blessed with. And I thought that would be enough.
And this was all right after high school?
This was right after high school, like fresh out.
That's pretty impressive, man.
Yeah, I signed up for some classes. I got an extra job, got transferred back to my hometown because, we need to have medical professionals who are proficient in, our medical technologies and have the aptitude for that. And, as far as I know, a lot of them are. And so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But despite failing some of my college classes for the medical field, I ended up still being in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I lost my I lost my retail job and my job at an Arby's in Santa Rosa doing the stock and whatnot. And then I got blessed as a caregiver for somebody who was autistic, severely mentally challenged, individual.
Oh, wow.
I took him on as my little brother, and I did really well.
That's
I became
awesome.
a behavior analyst assistant for some time for a company in Santa Rosa, and life was good.
Yeah.
I had a band, I still had my car. I was homeless for like a little while, but I still maintained a job, and life was cool. And then shit went south real quick, real fast, and it crashed and burned. Long story short, and I ended up back at home in Vacaville.
Oh yeah.
Job hopping, from year to year, just trying to find enough to be able to sustain myself.
Right.
And
it's hard to do these days, man.
It really
It's
is.
crazy.
You either have enough money for food or you have enough money to put a roof over your head.
Yeah.
But
You have to make a choice between the two. It's
you try and do that by yourself, and it's pretty challenging.
And God forbid you have a family to raise too. You know what I mean? Then you're really struggling.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I've watched people go through who have like children who they were, who were hoofing it with them, going to school, getting straight A's, having no house, and having to come home to some shady renter who just took their freaking first and last month's rent and embezzled the whole thing and kicked them out anyway for no reason.
Yep.
And I mean, like, it's really, if life's a bitch, bring a sweater because she's a cold one.
Right.
Right.
It's a cold world out there, man. If you could start fresh today, what's one thing that you'd want to do or change about the way things have gone?
Well, I would definitely focus. I would not let anything outside or freaking extra distract me from what I needed to get done. You know, I'd probably just recluse up, like, you know, keep to myself until I got what I needed to, you know, to fulfill the responsibilities of myself. Just keeping myself clean, fed, and focused. I would just stay with that. You know, I did that for a time. I got me a job, got me a car, and then I got me a girlfriend, and I screwed it all up.
We've all been there, haven't we?
Yeah, but she stuck with me through these years and these tough times, and I've stuck with her. We got a dog to freaking keep safe and whatnot, so I'm just going to take that as more motivation to freaking do it right.
Absolutely.
You know, somebody gave me an acoustic bass one day, just said, here, man, get your chops up and come jam.
Gave it to you.
Yeah, he gave it to me. And you know what? That was one of the best things ever, because I made $100 a day minimum just entertaining anybody who would listen to me when they passed by.
Oh, man, that's living the dream.
Oh, yeah, it is, until the cops take your bass.
It's always something.
Yeah, so, I mean, we just need to stop perpetuating the problem and just get with a solution.
I agree with you, man. I agree.
Back to that question, I think one of the proudest moments I think I've had recently was when I was panhandling on the center median with that acoustic guitar, and this lady stopped, and she opened her window, and she looked back to her son who was still in a car seat, and she explained how I was actually putting forth an effort and, you know, trying to do something, you know, put forth a work of some sorts, putting into action and asking,
not just taking, but willing
for a handout, but willing to be that.
Something.
She's like, see, he's doing something. He's entertaining right now. So, you know, you can always, you know, it never feel bad for giving to somebody who's trying to make an effort. And I got to be that example that day. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that must feel awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. I like that story, man.
I remember
that's something that's gonna stick with you, huh?
Oh yeah, totally. Because I remember when my dad said that to me.
Yeah.
He also said, if you're gonna try and sit out there and play for money, you better be good.
Smart man.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, what's something small in your life that brings you joy, even on tough days? It's something that you know that you can revert to if you're having a crappy day and feeling down. What's something small that brings you joy?
Good question. Man, that's a good question. Having, you know, my girlfriend, knowing that I'm not alone in this is pretty freaking awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's not something small though.
No, that's what I was just gonna say.
I'd say a friend of mine, he said that his answer would have been a clean pair of socks.
Yeah.
He said he remembered running and gunning and being like out there hard in the grind, and then when he had a clean pair of socks, he said it was so refreshing and nice feeling. Like, I mean, my friend let me take a shower yesterday, and it was so awesome. Like, I felt so good. Like, oh God, I don't even want to say how long it had been since I'd had an actual shower.
Hey, right. That doesn't matter as long as you got one. You know. That's,
you know, friggin' it's
and on that note with the socks, was the care package, did that help out?
Oh,
were you able to use
tremendously. Those? Having some hand sanitizer and a clean pair of socks, even a granola bar or a fucking bottle of water. Man, don't ever take that shit for granted.
Right.
I mean, like...
it makes me happy to hear that. I'm glad you were able to use this stuff. Man.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are there any specific people or places that have helped or inspired you in the past?
You know, one of the police actually brought me a year's supply of allergy medicine.
Oh, wow.
Because they came to kick us out of the Lowe's parking lot,
yeah.
and I couldn't see my hand in front of my face because my allergies were so bad. Like my eyes were watering, and I couldn't see. I could barely talk. I had to put a blanket over my head to stop from sneezing.
Oh man!
And freaking, it was awful. And
those seasonal allergies will put you down.
Yeah, it really did. And a week later, she came through, and she's like, beep beep, and I was like, what? And I couldn't see very well, and she's like, hey, you're a real asshole when your allergies are acting up, so here's some allergy meds. And I was like, this is a year's worth of allergy medicine. Right. Awesome. Cool. Thanks, cop.
Cool, man. Yeah. So she had told you that she was going to get you the allergy medicine,
and she followed through.
Yeah,
she followed suit. It was awesome, pretty awesome.
That's awesome. See, look, even just little things like that, man, that's enough to lift somebody's spirits. At least it would for me, you know?
Yeah.
Like knowing that somebody is willing to make the effort to follow through for me, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
you know, I mean,
that's cool.
It is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. What do you wish that more people understood about you as a person or your situation?
I wish that people knew that not everybody on these streets are complete POSs. You know, like just
Agreed.
because you're in this situation doesn't mean you chose to be out here.
Right.
There are people who are victims of circumstance. I wouldn't exactly say that I'm one of them, but as far as trying to get up out of the position I'm in, it gets harder every single day.
Yeah.
The moves that I guess our local government are making are, I mean, and I've talked to certain people, you know, like the owners of the library in Vacaville and some other local business owners and, you know, like, you know, cops here and there.
Yeah.
And they ask what would I would do, like, you know, for this whole situation or homeless epidemic and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have a couple of good ideas, but putting them into action, I don't know, it's questionable. I mean, we just have to try.
Of course.
You know, mine is Japanese style sleeper cells. You
Yeah.
know, you pay a certain, you know, a small fee, like $5 or something like that, and you've got somewhere, a little spot where you can tuck yourself off, maybe have a bathroom attached and an outdoor shower or something like that, and just be able to freaking access that little pod and sleep for a couple hours, so delirium doesn't set in and you don't go crazy.
Is that like the tiny homes?
It's almost like the tiny homes. It's
Yeah.
just imagine like a little like those tubes that they have for kids to play in.
Yeah.
But just like a little pod, like just big enough for you, your sleeping bag, and your belongings.
Enough to give you shelter.
Yeah, enough to give you shelter for a couple of hours, so you
Yeah.
can get some sleep, get your head right, maybe charge your phone, and then be off, you know, to go, you know, handle your business somewhere.
Yeah.
But that sleep is so essential, and
absolutely.
and anybody on the streets gets devoid of it because they're not allowed to sleep anywhere. People are constantly treating them like a plague. I get it.
Yeah, man.
And
you see it all the time. It's messed up.
Yeah, it sucks. You know, I see people doing something the wrong way, and I have to do something because that'll screw up for everybody else. I've been in stores, people steal from in there, and then I got kicked out by association because I said hi to somebody I thought I knew, and it was a big deal, and it really sucks. It's not,
it sucks being grouped in with
people
that are
who
actually
you don't even
doing
like.
wrong, doing harm, and
you know,
you're not that
exactly.
person.
You know.
So what kind of support or help do you think would make the biggest difference for you or someone in your shoes?
Someone in my shoes?
Yeah. What kind of support would really make a big change in your life? Or what kind of help? You know?
What kind of help? A job, hopefully, of sorts.
Yeah.
But I mean, that or just somewhere that I could at least somewhere where I could rest, where I know my shit's not going to be stolen from, or
you don't have to sleep with one eye open.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And where I know that I'm not going to wake up to a SWAT team telling me I have to go and, you know, rushing me and all that kind of jazz. Like, you know, it's just so annoying.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to freaking, you know, rest, start my day, and maybe go to work doing something, anything really. Doesn't matter what. I catch odd jobs here and there, but the best support I could get really would just, you know, just probably be shelter or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or,
I mean, just having your own space, even if it's a small space.
Yeah.
It makes such a difference in somebody's life, man.
Yeah.
If you had a chance to chase a dream or passion again, what would it be? If you had an opportunity to start chasing that dream again right now.
Right now, what would it be?
What would it be? Would you still be as interested in music as you were back then?
Oh yeah, completely. I never stop. You know, I might not have an
I can see
instrument,
you as a
but
rock star, man.
I stay practicing. I keep my chops up hard. But yeah, if I had an opportunity to join a band or anything like that, I would take it freaking as fast as I freaking could.
Right.
But
yeah. That's I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah.
If you want, after this, we can talk about starting a band.
Cool. I'm down.
Okay.
Shoot, we'll have some more videos to catch likes.
Right. Okay, so what advice would you give someone going through a hard time or going through a similar situation that you've been through?
I'd say, like what advice I'd give to another homeless person or somebody who's fresh homeless?
Yeah, just what advice would you give to someone that's going through a hard time and they feel like they can't get out of it?
Travel light, get really familiar with your churches. Find somewhere that has a bathroom open 24/7 and make a very good relationship with with those store owners or the employees who work there.
That's good advice.
All right, that's like a phenomenal forking difference.
Oh yeah,
it's about the same difference as living out of your car than to living out of your own devices.
Man,
you know, it's like that. It's that big of a step. When you have a local business or somewhere like, you know, somewhere in your immediate community who's got your back like that, that could be a tremendous difference. That's the difference sometimes between having shoes and not.
Man.
You know, and it gets hot out here.
I'm telling you.
You know, clean up your trash and travel light.
Right.
Don't make too many friends.
And don't make too many enemies.
That part. You know, stay in your own lane, mind your business, and just keep to yourself, mind your own business, travel lightly, and speak softly and carry a big stick.
Right. All right. That's good advice, man.
You know.
All right. Is there anything else that you have on your mind that you'd like to share that I haven't touched on?
Every time I get asked this question in an iconic like moment, in like, you know, some possible avenue that I actually could make a difference, my brain just farts. I completely forget that one thing that I've been holding on to. I'm like, man, I can't wait. This is the opportunity.
Right.
And where is that thought that I was it was so profound, and now it's just poof.
It's just white screen.
Yep.
How can people support you or others in your community? What's the best way that someone could support your situation to help you get out of it?
You know what? For me to get out of it, honestly, it would have to it'd have to come from the whole community itself, and it would have to be just somewhere to be so I can do me, and then, you know, and carry on about my business like everybody else does.
Right.
Like a shelter that's not no rehab or no kind of, you know, cutesy crap bullshit like that, because I've been in those rehabs, I've been in those SLEs, and I've seen people get ripped off by all of them.
Right, man.
Like, you know, just left and right, just one person gets the hair up their ass, and it's, you know, sayonara. And I'm not saying that all of them are like that.
No.
I'm saying that there's a lot of potential of good in those happening, but to have those kind of stipulations on things doesn't give everybody a chance.
No, I've heard horror stories about some of these places, you know.
Yeah, I mean, really, if there was some system that we could have where there would be like a hostel or something like that, you know, that would be kind of cool.
Right.
But you know, that would just take some regulators who are willing to regulate that kind of circus, and that gets rough.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
But hey, if you need somebody who's acclimated to it, maybe the city should just hire some of the freaking people to be able to do it and police their own.
That makes sense.
I mean, that's a pretty mind-blowing solution I just came up with right now. Shoot.
Right. You're a smart dude, and it shows. Yeah. I can't thank you enough, man, for sharing your story, and if you don't mind, I have just one more question. What's one thing that you want people to remember about you? Something that you want people to take away from this interview, watching this video?
No matter what position you're in life, it's never wrong to do the right thing. If you know, found a wallet in this very parking lot after I had a bad day, and it had $2,000 in it, cash. A stack of credit cards in there. Not one person was looking at me when I picked it up. And I seen all the kids around, like running and playing, and thought about how much I liked eating McDonald's when I was a little kid. So I walked in there and I freaking raised the wallet up and said, "Who dropped this?" Dude hadn't even finished his order. I could have been gone. And you do know that 9 times out of 10 people would have walked away with that wallet, man. Hell yeah, and I don't blame them in these situations. You know, there's a lot of people who would have they wouldn't have cared. They'd have thrown the wallet out, kept the cash, and just kept on walking.
But that right there is integrity, man. It shows your integrity, and a lot of people are lacking in that these days.
Yeah, you know, and honestly, you know, a lot of people help me when they drive by me and they see me holding a sign, and they just say hi. They look at me and they address me like they would another person. And that
treats you like a human being.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something that I took for granted when I was young. People treating me like that, because I never really, you know, whatever. Right. I was a kid, you know. You learn, you get in where you fit in eventually, hopefully.
Right.
But in this situation, I tell people, I'm like, you know what, man? Thank you very much for just leveling with me right now, because you leveling with me like that is worth more than a condescending $100 bill.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I said that to a guy one day, and he gave me a $100 bill, and I was like,
well
thank
deserved,
you so
too.
much.
Yeah.
You know, it was amazing.
Right.
You know, but honestly, to all you naysayers and whatnot, challenge me. You want to tell me to get a job? Why don't you show me a job that you think I can't do?
Bring it
all
on.
Right? And I'll freaking, you know, and I'll handle it. You can crack the whip for a week, and if I have fucking, you know, if it sails, then let it sail.
Yeah, yeah.
Give me a chance like anybody else.
Yeah.
You know, because I might surprise you. Plus, a dishonest enemy is always worth 100 dishonest friends.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And honesty, communication.
That's a dying practice.
Oh yeah, I know, right? And
Like cursing in analog
huge,
clocks.
man. It's like it's the foundation for a solid long relationship is to communicate,
Yeah.
to be honest, to put everything on the table.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see more of that nowadays.
It really would be.
So
and
I feel like I saw a lot of that while talking to you, man, and I appreciate it.
Awesome. I appreciate the interview and the chance to let that be shown.
Absolutely, man. I'm sure this isn't going to be the last time that we have a conversation. So
Awesome.
So I'm looking forward to having more of you on here.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, man.
Eric.
If you have nothing else you want to add, brother, I appreciate you for sitting here with me and talking and getting that out there, man.
Cool.
Right
I do have one more wish I would like to share.
Oh, please.
I would like to share that one of these days I'd like to be able to have one of these interviews and at the end be like, and live from New York, it's Saturday night. But
yeah, well, hey, we'll get there someday, huh?
Yep. I'm gonna go make good burgers right now.
Right on. All right, brother. Thank you, man.
Yep, no problem.
Okay.